Have you ever wondered just how those jumped up pricks who pass judgment on you in a magistrate's court actually get all of that power? I didn't until today. I came across an article that I was reading and I wondered what it took to become a magistrate. So I thought I'd look it up, and what I found was actually rather shocking. Before I go into that, I'm just going to go over what a magistrate actually does. Now, a magistrate is a volunteer who hears cases in courts in their community. Now, they can hear cases in a criminal court or the family court, or in both. Each case is usually heard by 3 magistrates. That's 3 jumped up pricks, including a magistrate who is trained to act as a chairperson. So that would be the sociopath. Come to think of it, they're probably all sociopaths. But anyway, all criminal cases begin in a magistrate's court. A magistrate will pass the most serious crimes or the more serious crimes onto the Crown Court, because a Crown Court can dish out harsher sentences. But a magistrate actually has the power to sentence somebody to up to 12 months in prison. They are allowed to take away your liberties for up to 12 months in a magistrate's court. The magistrates will also decide if the defendant should be kept in custody or let out on strict conditions, for example, to keep away from certain places or people. The kind of crimes that magistrates deal with are minor assaults, motoring offences, theft, handling stolen goods, TV licence evasion. And magistrates can give punishments such as fines, unpaid work in a community, or prison sentence for up to 6 months or up to 12 months for more than one crime. Now, I'm not going to go read through the fact that they can do family cases because that's not really relevant to this particular video, but let's have a look at who can be a magistrate. And this is the part that I think might surprise some of you. Now, in order to be a magistrate, you need to give up some of your spare time, and not everybody can serve as a magistrate. You don't need formal qualifications. I'll say that again. You don't need formal qualifications or legal training to become a magistrate. That's right. You do not have to have a single iota of previous experience dealing with the legal system or law in order to become a magistrate and pass judgment on other people. It does say that you get full training. Now remember that word, full training, for the role, and a legal advisor in court would help you with questions about the law. So basically anybody within reason can become a magistrate. They don't need to know a single thing about the law. All they have to do is sit at the top of the room, demand your attention, demand your, push their authority on you, okay, and demand your respect when they have no clue what they're talking about. Honestly, let me carry on. So, you have to be over 18 and under 65. Magistrates must retire at 70 and are normally expected to serve for at least 5 years. You need to be able to hear clearly, with or without hearing aid, and listen to a case. You also need to be able to sit and concentrate for long periods. Personal qualities. You need to show you've got the right personal qualities. For example, that you are aware of social issues, mature, understand people and have a sense of fairness, reliable and committed to serving the community. You also need to be able to understand documents, follow evidence and communicate effectively, think logically, weigh up arguments and reach a fair decision. There's a couple of points that they're missing off of there, which is you need to be a sociopath and a narcissist. But let's carry on. It's unlikely if you'll be taken on if you have been found guilty of a serious crime, found guilty of a number of minor offences, banned from driving in the past 5 to 10 years, or declared bankrupt. Obviously, conflicts of interest. If you're a police officer, you're not going to be able to become a magistrate because you could get somebody come in front of you and you can't be objective to that person. Plus, you've probably got even the lack of education that the police have got on the law is probably more than the magistrates. Now, let's get to this point. Training to be a magistrate. You will need training to be a magistrate. The training when you start would add up to about 21 hours. 21 hours worth of training to sit at the head of a court, pass judgment on other people's crimes or potential crimes when you've got absolutely no fucking idea of the law yourself. The training could take place over a long weekend. Now, when I thought of magistrates, I never really looked into it, but when I thought of magistrates, I immediately assumed that these people had been solicitors, lawyers, barristers, and they've got to the point where they have been able to become a magistrate. But that couldn't be any further from the truth. These people that are passing judgment on us, on us members of the public, have no legal training whatsoever. And that shocked me like I cannot tell you. A long weekend worth of training, and they can sit, they can demand your respect, they can send you to prison, they can relieve you of money, they can send you to do unpaid work. And these are people that have got no training whatsoever. They've got no experience in the law whatsoever. And they actually speak to, what did they call it? An advisor. They actually speak to an advisor on what they should do. How can anybody, in all seriousness, take somebody like that seriously? Going to court, I'm due to, I think, to go to court for breach of Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, when I was arrested, assaulted, kidnapped, and I'm currently on bail for, or at least under investigation still. And I have to go in front of a magistrate at some point who isn't even going to allow me to explain the situation, because magistrates generally don't allow you to explain yourself in court. Maybe that's why. Maybe you're not allowed to explain yourself because the jumped up pricks sitting in the magistrates' chairs wouldn't be able to understand what you're talking about. Maybe it would confuse them too much. I don't know. My point is, in order to be a magistrate, all you need to do is go on a long weekend's worth of training and not have a criminal record, basically. And to allow people like that to take away our liberties, to fine us, to order us to be quiet when we're trying to explain ourselves, to use that position to push their narcissistic tendencies onto other people is absolutely beyond a joke. And I've not seen a video on how easy it is to become a magistrate. And I wonder how many people actually know the person that is sentencing you to up to 6 months in prison or 12 months for more than one offence. Whether you know that person who is ordering you to give over your hard-earned money, whether that person is deciding whether or not a case should go to Crown Court, has no formal training whatsoever. It puts a whole new light on the Magistrates' Court in my eyes. I don't know about you, but I certainly won't be looking at them in the same way ever again.